So today is another day and I'm getting really close to actually finishing this transmission swap. The clutch being all hooked up, I had to bleed it. I had a bit of a trouble at first. I guess I didn't fill up the brake fluid didn't fill it up all the way to the top where it should be, and it was just air in the system. I tried everything and I was just still getting air coming out of here. So I had to fill up the brake fluid all the way to the top, and then I started to get brake fluid into the clutch system. So what I'm doing at this point is, so here is 11, and there is a bleeder screw, kind of weird and awkwardly positioned. Turn it about a turn. There is a brake fluid container, and there is a clear hose or tube to see the fluid, and I think I got all the air out of the system. This is all plastic, by the way, so I don't think you can really do it. Well, you have to do it carefully. So here's my clutch pedal all the way to the floor, pulling it up. I got some random parts here. And I think it feels pretty good. I think I have some air in the brakes. But I think the clutch is done. Returns all the way up. Feels pretty good. I still have some wires hanging. I don't have the cover yet. So another thing, or last thing that I couldn't figure out, is this oxygen sensor retainer bracket. I guess it's different on manual transmission, because this from automatic I couldn't figure out how to really position it properly. Guess the location points or mounting points are different, and the bracket is different, like I said. So I'm getting rid of this, just reusing those clips. They really are nice clips that hold. So this part of the cable runs inside of this heat insulation tube, so I got those clips, 2 of those right here. It's everything is rigid, nothing is going to rub or move around. Well, let's see if this works. I'm using a screwdriver and a jack, and I'm pushing one side of that bushing up. Nope, another attempt. It's going. And then it slips out. This is insane. Oof. I think it's almost in place. Really don't want to beat on it, because it's going to, or has a chance of making it, ruining the roundness. So I guess that's how you do it. The only thing that's left is this stupid rubber boot that has to seal. Well, I guess I probably should just go out. Should probably get up on the top. Now, people say that this thing can be extremely squeaky, and that can be super annoying. So if that is the case, I don't know. I got some silicone or some kind of a grease in there, but so I guess it's time to find out if this drive shaft is actually any good or it's junk. Let's find out if this actually fits or it doesn't fit. That's the question. So I'm a little bit puzzled this figuring out if the drive shaft fits or not. I have a bit of a confusing situation, I guess. So the way that the drive shaft, the center support bearing is in a normal state is like this. So it feels like this support bearing needs to go back another 20 millimeters. So I bolted the flex disc to the drive shaft and it's fine. So I checked all the part numbers for the transmission, for the output flange, for the flex disc, for the drive shaft, everything, and they all match. But this, I'm being stupid. So what's the deal, I guess, is my question. Is it the splines? Is this thing, is it all the way into the forward section? Is the rear section pushed all the way into the rear section? Is that the deal? Because otherwise I don't understand. Like, why would it be like this? So I'm really such a dummy. I'm so stupid. So this is the correct drive shaft and the correct length drive shaft. So everything is correct. And the thing is, this is the splines. So I basically installed the drive shaft the best I could. I got 2 bolts right here. Just to hold it in place, because it wouldn't reach this, the end of the drive shaft wouldn't reach the flange, the input flange of the diff. And then I got my a brass or whatever. Don't want to beat with a steel hammer on the drive shaft. So I started to beat on the end, started to knock this on the drive shaft in this direction, and this thing started to expand. But that's a good thing. The bad thing is that this rubber boot is ripped. So now I wonder if I need to replace this support bearing and this rubber thingy, because it's ripped and I don't want to drive like this and damage it. So it's all good in a sense that the drive shaft is correct, the length is correct, everything is correct. It needs to expand. I guess when they removed it from the car, they just pushed this in all the way. But there is the splines right here, and that is a problem. This needs to be fixed. Otherwise, the drive shaft is good. Good luck finding any pictures. That's a warning or an advice or whatever. Good luck finding pictures of the car, of the underside of the car on the internet. Unless I'm really bad with using Google, this is almost impossible to figure out. Well, it's kind of easy going to real OEM web catalog and figuring out what belongs to a manual, what belongs to automatic transmission as far as plastics go. Here's those 2 parts, and I kind of expected to see like a lot of a difference. So this is the piece of a plastic that covers the bottom of your transmission. And since I went from automatic to manual, I looked up those part numbers for the plastic covers, and they're not the same, they're different. It also didn't seem like the manual, the automatic transmission under pan or the plastic cover wasn't fitting the way I kind of expected it would. So got the proper manual transmission E90 328 manual transmission, rear wheel drive, not XI, plastic cover, got them side by side, and I don't see a lot of a difference. I am really upset, I guess, because, well, there is a difference. There is a bit of a difference the way the things are actually made. There is an extra, I don't know, is that like a vent or air intake on the manual cover, which is not on this? Well, someone tried to make a an intake on this one, and yeah, that's what happened. This thing cracked. Someone went over whatever, and actually that was the damage that actually went all the way through the plastic into the transmission, automatic transmission. But here's the difference. Here's those plastics compared side by side, automatic, manual. But as far as the mounting points go, they are pretty much the same. I don't see any difference in the way these plastics are installed. It's just, that's the thing that I really am upset about. Here is all the cutouts, all the holes and everything. And the shape of it. It's just, I don't understand why they had to make it different in first place. Well, I kind of understand that air intake for ventilation or cooling or whatever, but otherwise there is a gaping hole in the back of whatever, which is the same size and shape as this one. And like, I'm really, if someone has any good idea how to explain this, well, I guess a BMW engineer's input would be nice. Otherwise, this is really stupid. This is one of those stupid things that's just stupid. Like, yeah, it's a different shape as far as the center and ribs and reinforcements go, but it's not covering anything differently, this one, compared to that one. And, well, brackets are different. I still need to figure out which bracket actually goes to this hole right here. I'm pointing at right this, because it's not there anymore. It's not that has to have a bracket, because the transmission mount or a bracket, transmission support bracket, is kind of moved forward with a manual because that transmission is shorter than automatic. So that point, that mounting point, has no support, so there has to be a bracket. The rest is just the same. Oh, and there is an extra bracket that holds the other piece of plastic in the back, because apparently you can't attach that to anything anymore since the transmission is different. And here's the part number for that, right here, if anyone is curious about it. I guess the bottom line is, it's kind of upsetting that they are not really that different, because I expected, like I said, I expected something that is significantly different. It's not. I guess the positive part of this frustration is that it's a proper type of cover with the ventilation, whatever that is, and it doesn't have that damage anymore. That was really annoying. I hated looking at this every single time I was under the car, and that's just damaged. This one is not super expensive. I guess it makes sense to get under the car and demonstrate what it's like, this plastic cover, plastic transmission underpan cover. So this is the new one that I just installed. These are the screws that hold it up to the rest of the covers and plastics. This is the end. There is actually the place where the older what was it, exhaust bracket was sitting. So this is still an open place or open space on the manual transmission. The attachment points are all the same. Screws are all the same, except for I had to get this bracket here because this piece of plastic, this is the other one behind the panel. So this one is attached, used to be attached to the brace or transmission mount bracket. Now it just hangs in the air if you don't buy that bracket. So that's one that I had to buy. What else? And now this is the back side of this new panel, and that's the corner that's just hanging like this. And I bet there is a bracket for that, but I don't know what it is and what it's like. Have to research to find the exact part number. But yep, that's where it's not touched anymore with the manual transmission. But otherwise it's all good. I'm thinking that this is going to be the last piece of the puzzle, which is this manual transmission swap on my car. I finally got this bracket for this plastic piece that goes under the transmission. I have to install this, I guess, and it goes right here. So this is a manual transmission specific bracket, and so basically this bracket holds this corner of the plastic cover. Okay, this bracket is attached to the plastic cover on the bottom, and the top has a tab and a hole, so I'm assuming it just goes into this hole in the transmission mount brace. I think it has a... Does it have a thread? I actually don't see any threads. Well, I guess I can put a knot on the back side of it or something, because there are two holes. So it goes on this way, two holes, but there is no threads. That's funny, but that's not a big deal. I can put like I said, a bolt and a knot on the back side, and just attach that in this way. So okay, this is the bracket, and I guess I should mention that this bracket, there is another bracket. This is the original that also is supporting this plastic cover. It is the original that is the same on the automatic transmission. So to recap this, you have to use 3 brackets to hold the plastic covers when you do the manual transmission swap. You keep this is the most forward, you keep this one that is the same on the automatic, and then you have to buy 2 of these, this and this, that are manual transmission specific brackets, and this plastic cover is the same on automatic, so it doesn't change. Well, I guess I'll get some screws and things and put it together, and I guess be done with it. If anyone is curious what the part number for this bracket is, it's somewhere here.